I just said, I'm kind of learning on the run, like. But I'll tell you one thing that prison has given me is the ability to adapt quickly. Like, so I pick up shit. Oh, I shouldn't swear, but I pick up things a lot sooner than other people. So I'm blessed in that area. But yeah, it's crazy, brother. Traction's real, and it's crazy. And talking on yourself real quick, Melbourne, how long? How long were you inside for? 13, did you say?
Yeah, so I've done over. It's between 13 and 14
Yeah.
commission areas. When you're in the city, is always fucking out of control. What was that like, brother?
Well, brother, listen. Today people complain about having no front yard and backyard, So I still remember going to the old Rick, and now the old Rick as part of Long Bay was called RIC Reception Induction Centre. So there was 10 jails in this one jail. You got the MRP and whatnot. So I went into the Rick, and I still remember the day like it was yesterday. They opened the door, they kicked the milk in, they shut it again, they done the whole yard. Then they come and let go. And I remember when I walked out that I'd never felt so alone in my life because everybody knew that I come last night and I was 18 and nobody spoke to me. I had the unfortunate pleasure of walking into the shower block and being I don't want to say witness, but I was taking a shower when somebody was 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 hurt really really badly, and then it got real when the blood was dripping into the drain that I was showering in, and I'm looking at it trickle through my feet and trying to get out. I was like, bro, like this is a different beach right now, and I wanted to get out so there was no worries about them worrying about me later. Yeah, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Like that was my first concern. That was my first concern that whatever happens in here happens in here, and that's not on me. I want to remove myself from the situation because I don't want anything to happen later that has some sort of cloud over my head in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
For now,
Yeah, yeah. Mine was a similar kind of version. I had a one-on-one, which this is where I learned that um, even though it's finished, it's never finished. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I had a
Yep.
one-on-one and got the best of that fight, and 2 days later he ice bottled me. Uh, as I was he hit behind the door and ice bottled me, broke my jaw, knocked out some teeth, and yeah, knocked me out in the wing, and then it was like, all right, like this I need to get payback, and I need to be on. Yeah, I need to be on.
So do you want to let us know, what your cultural background is, brother?
Yeah, so I'm Aboriginal. I don't say half because like I'm Aboriginal. My dad's Aboriginal. So yeah,
Yep.
I'm from a tribe, Wiradjuri, Wellington, Dubbo, New South Wales. Um, so we were obviously at war majority of the time with the Asians and the Islanders. We've had our wars with the Lebanese and whatnot, and I'll get into that with the 1998, 1999 one at Lithgow that I already done a story on that I took part in
Yep.
and played a role in. So nothing happened. So the boys actually thought they were reading the room right, and I wasn't. Do you know what I mean? Because they say, no, you're spinning out. It's not like that here. It's not like that here. And I try to explain to them that it doesn't change wherever we go. Like, it's just a matter of time we're going to get attacked. The next day,
What whereabouts, bro? What areas were you stabbed in
so
on your body?
I got stabbed in the neck. I got stabbed on top of the eye. So they tried to hit me in the eye, obviously. So I got stabbed in the top of the eye. I got stabbed in the neck. I got stabbed in the lung. I got stabbed behind the ear. I got stabbed in the testicle. I got stabbed in the back. I got stabbed in the chest. I got stabbed in the ribs. So how it actually happened was um, the Trump of the Asians that were there, his name was Guile at the time, and we became very good mates, but this time we're enemies. We had already had issues before, right? And I told the boys what was going on. 60 other inmates. I get hit in the head with a guitar, and the guitar, like, if he would have hit me with the guitar being flat or something, it may have done a lot more damage. But he's come over the top, and that arch of the guitar kind of hit my head perfectly, so it didn't really do much damage, and it shattered. And then he's tried to stab me with what was shattered, and we started punching on. Now there was three kind of bolted in green benches to sit on. So as I'm fighting, I'm moving backwards. I've tripped over the bolted in chair, bench, whatever you like to call it, and that's that's the most dangerous spot to be in, bro. On your back with all these boys trying to stab you. But it also saved me because there was that many people trying to hurt me, kill me, whatever they wanted to do at the time. It actually worked against them because they couldn't get in to actually, like do the damage. But all I could remember feeling is people trying to pull my leg apart to get. That's why I got stabbed in the testicle, and I knew what they were trying to do because I've already participated in jail stabbings and kind of learned when.
Get your artery.
Yeah, like I already had participated in jail stabbings and kind of learned not where to waste energy and where I need to put it. And that's just being factual, like there's no use going and stabbing me in the shoulder and then giving me the opportunity to come back. And when you participate in prison, you get involved in the politics, the race wars, and then you get put on certain lists for officers to have you in segregation and super action STG, or lists for other races of other nationalities to make sure that you are dealt with and that you're taken out because you're the risk to them, and risk being with the hands, with the blade, or with your mouth to control other brothers to say, we're going. I know that may sound confusing, but a burner is somebody that drops graffiti and like puts his name up around the middle of the city. So that's where the robbing come from. It was part of my childhood, and I've carried that name my whole life, and I burnt that name throughout the whole city. So that's and the 210 was a tech key that come later. That was pretty much a key to freedom, we call it, because it had the ability to open every tech till in a shopping centre, mall, village, wherever it was, and the 210 key became infamous with who we were as a group growing up. So I could choose to do whatever I wanted because no one knew if I was in the home or I wasn't, and then I found something to belong to the streets, like the 210 crew and other brothers that were living the same lifestyle, because I didn't feel like I belonged at home. Not through lack of love or it was just like I was never worried about being home, So yeah, that evolved into hanging on the streets and progressing from graffiti to stracking, from stracking to stealing high performance vehicles for other people that were doing crimes that I later started to do, which introduced me to that side of life. And growing up in the middle of the city, a lot of time, that's what the deterrent. I was that worried to get involved in anything because I was unaware what I needed to be aware of. I know the unwritten law and I know the unwritten code. You don't tell, you don't ask, you don't stare, you don't feed. And I knew all that, but still, just to understand prison for the first day is just it's crazy. It's actually crazy. The records picked up from say 98 to probably 2005. Goulburn was segregated 1997 September over a jail murder that the brothers were involved in. That segregated Goulburn jail. But that at the time was the only jail that was segregated. So most dramas stemmed from Goulburn. Because we were housed differently, we still had verbal arguments, verbal disagreements, would attack people on the visit. You would get attacked at the clinic.
And blokes will test you. This is their house, you know what I mean? And if they don't know you, they'll definitely be putting tests out there just to see how you're going to react,
Yeah, constantly. And that's the thing, they were, the tests were. My phone's just gone a bit flat here, mate. Sorry.
That's all right.
Original. But it got serious when I got stabbed 20 times at Park Lee. So what happened was I'd had a lot of fights with Asians one-on-one. I bashed a few Asian cellmates because they all swear there had been race wars. And I had seen it as my duty to make sure that no Asian walked the yard that I was in. And I know that sounds disrespectful, but at that time, it wasn't happening. I didn't care who they were, where they come from. If an Asian got off the truck and come into a yard that I was on, he was going. And
Yep.
yeah, this kind of got me put on a list.
Yep.
And then, like, I knew what side I wanted to be on, and I knew that, like it's do or die. It's actually do or die. You know, like there's no in between with prison, and to see what I seen the very first time was like it was life changing.